told me before, son, you get I understood, but I ain't see the vision. A nigga kept going, and now I'm winning. Some people I put my trust in, try to fuck up my image. Oh no, you didn't. Some say you forgive, but don't forget it. Now you know how we do. Lock that back door, don't let no one through. I told Michi in these streets ain't no rules. He say, cuz all this life we ain't put on with it. Yeah. And I understand that this shit wasn't easy, but nigga, we did it. Yeah. And all them hoes and all them niggas that wasn't fucking with us, then we them niggas. And now we rich now. We got money. I don't give a shit, no. And we did it. Young nigga come up from nothing, now he getting to them riches. And it's the life of a young rich nigga.
4, 5. Yeah, I ain't playing with your ass. Nigga, I ain't playing with your ass. You chasing greatness. You got greatness talking to you. Become great.
Become great. Yo. What's happening? Yo. I said squeeze. You playing with the people, huh?
Power to the people. What the people say. What the people, yo. What's going on out there? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boys at Rize Podcast, aka the Smoothie King. And all assets in the building. Right back at y'all. What another one. Top of the morning, top of the afternoon. To y'all good people. Hope everybody's safe out there. The weather is beautiful. Nice. I'm about to get this drive by. What's going on?
Oh my gosh. You know what time it is?
You already know.
You know what time it is, you know what I mean? You can either get the sponsors out the way, or you can bring the pastor in. Which one you want to do?
Let me get the sponsors out of the way, because you know once we bring the pastor in, it's gonna be a sermon.
And I'm ready for it. I need it. I
need this. I need this one, yo. So let me get these sponsors out of the way.
Hey, but when
I'm done. Because I ain't skip all of that. I'm done. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Now listen. You know when the pastor come in, he like to be brought in right. You know what I mean? Especially when you got a good pastor. The pastor don't like to come out to just anything. So when you bring the pastor, now I'm not knocking you because you always do a great job. But when you bring this pastor in, make sure you bring
having this conversation. I don't even know why we having it.
It's a good Sunday.
I gotta catch my breath. I don't know why he wasted his 5-time world champ, 4 different weight classes, first ballot Hall of Famer. Baltimore's own GTD making his awaited return back in the ring in December. Don't forget, shout out, redesigning minds one mind at a time. We know a mind a terrible thing to waste. Shout out to www.kenichibed.com. Use code TRP. You'll get 15% off them Hibernation 5s. These the black joint. And don't forget to go over to www.noslipgallery.org. Use code RIZE. You'll get 10% off. Also, shout out to www.miakillerb.com. Go over there and get her merch. She just coming off a devastating knockout. I can't wait till she get her major title shot. She building the blocks. She carving her way. There's more to come. I'm telling you, there's more to come. Shout out to John Boy, R.I.P. to John Boy, Miss Tanya, rest in peace to Miss Tanya Vandross and John Boy, one of our biggest sponsors. They will be going down into the Rize Podcast Hall of Fame subscribers, first ballot Hall of Famers.
Most definitely.
And shout out, cause John Boy, that was your boy, yo. Even in Vegas, he gave me a hard way to go. But he showed me love. That's my boy right there. That's my boy. Him and C, you was talking in Japanese. I swear, I be god damn. Nah, yo, he treated all of us with love, man.
One more thing I want to remind you. You know the pastor don't like to wait.
Okay. All right. Stop cutting me off. I can finish. And I don't know what's wrong with these kids. Also, shout out to Four Corners Boxing featuring Maurice and Jenny Jones. Don't forget EOE, education over everything. Don't forget to going down at 1901 Pennsylvania Avenue. Get your Shirley's Essentials 12 rolls for $7. Shout out the Under Armour. Thanks for all that you do. Just Two Boxing, Hardcore Boxing News, Miss Mona, Richie Baby, Richie Threads, AO Clothing Line, Pro Soul Boxing Gear, and last but not least, Official Gear Boxing, all the fighters wearing it. Y'all can say it with me in the chat. Box Raw. All right, y'all, let me bring them in. I said, let me bring him in. He about to make his rated return. I said, can I get a witness? Can I get a witness? Let the preacher say what the people say out of DC. Y'all. But he's well known all over the boxing community. He's on the climb. I say he's on the climb. His son, you stand him up, he knock him down. The father of 2-time, 3-time future world champion, continental youth champion,
Belt the ass.
About the ass, the infamous. You done seen him on here several occasions. And you about to get him live again. The one, the only, I call him the hitman, Mr. Bernard. Hackhead in the building.
Don't get no better than that, Mr. Bernard.
Hey man, y'all need to put that stuff on patent, man. Y'all need to put it on patent. Y'all make the ringtone where people call themselves just to be made to feel better.
What's going on? Let me get this out the way before she killed me. Smoothie King, right back at you with another one. Bad Girls Link. Thanks for the 10-piece.
Bad Girl Nick. Don't do that. Bad Girl
I did
Nick.
say that.
You said Link.
Olivia Pope.
Yep.
Hey, y'all. Happy Sunday. I started it off. Now get the super stickers going because the pastor is on and he need his offering. There you have it.
Appreciate it.
Man, y'all the greatest, brother. Y'all the greatest. I gotta say, we need to flip it around and give y'all flowers, man. I remember when y'all started to rise. I remember when y'all was saying different things you wanted to do, seeing y'all in and out of town. I remember when we had to get Coach Sweeze to come out of town. You know, see you be like, man, I gotta drag him with me. I gotta make him come. So, you know,
he needs somebody to abuse. He can't abuse and stuff. It don't feel right when you beating on the mirror.
The pastor don't like being in
the don't feel right.
The pastor doesn't like to be in the when he's giving his sermon.
With him. You know what I mean, Mr. Bernard? He needs somebody. You know, these kids, they disrespectful now. Look at the news. The stuff they doing. They come right home at the charges. But go ahead, Mr. Bernard, because the next time he assault me, I'm going upside his meaty peeking head. Yeah, I cleaned that up. Yeah. He don't know nothing about that. The meaty peeking head. Yeah.
Hey, man, y'all doing it.
Excuse me, Mr. Bernard.
Oh, Lord. He got to get the last
one thing I will say. If you put your hands on me, Miss Tanya would be so happy. Because she will be up there with her. You will be up there with her. You put hands on me. I was going to see you for a while.
That's the compliment. You said I'm going to be, you ain't say you was going to put me down there. I take
I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna see you
okay.
upstairs with her. You going to the upper room?
Okay. All right. Can I take somebody with me?
No.
Hey, long
The
as it's the
floor is
upper room,
yours, Mr.
long as
Burnett.
it's the upper room, I'll take that card with it. Long as it's long as they use the capital letters, lowercase letters, get you.
My man.
Oh boy, y'all something, man. Like I said, I remember y'all started this thing, and I'm gonna be honest with you. It was built on Javante Tank Davis. It was built on Upton boxing, but you all have developed your own reputation. You all have developed your own following. You all have made this where it's built on the Rise podcast and not on someone else going through the Rise podcast. So I'm very proud of what you gentlemen have done. It shows where you can go to when you put in hard work. I tell Jalil all the time, people can say, man, they got their podcast, or this guy got this, or this guy got that because of somebody else. Everybody in this world needs a hand from somebody, but that's what I call luck. Hard work plus timing equals luck. Because if you don't work hard and the timing comes, you're not prepared. So it isn't luck; it was misfortune. So being hardworking and being prepared when the opportunity comes—that's the definition of luck.
Let the pastor preach.
Well,
Yeah, guys, man. Like I said, man, I think sometimes we want to give the flowers after everything has gone and passed, but it's not a problem giving flowers when things are in the midst of going on. You know, I want you to see my praise. I want to see the smile on your face when you say somebody acknowledged and recognized what I have put the work into doing.
real talk.
When I was scrolling down my phone, something told me to send this link to Mr. Bernard.
Man, let me tell you, I got y'all on alert notification. So when I see anything from y'all,
The
I
bat
always
phone.
look at it. And yes, and if I'm free, possible, and able, I join. You know
He don't
that
know
I
nothing
think
about that, the red bat phone. He don't know
he
nothing
too
about
young.
the
He
Adam
too young.
West.
I
He
got
too
the
young.
number to him.
Commissioner
He
Gordon.
ain't.
He don't know about Commissioner Gordon. He don't know.
Yeah,
Come on,
I
man. He
got
don't
the
know. He
number
too
to
young.
him. That's the phone that I hit.
Hey, Mr.
He too,
Bernard, he don't know.
he too young. He too young. He don't know.
He
He
too
don't know
young.
the glass used to be. He don't know the cake jar glass used to be over the phone. You had to lift the cake jar glass. Yeah. Look at him.
He
That
don't know nothing
quarterback.
about that.
He
Don't
don't
do
know.
that to him,
He
Mr.
don't
Bernard.
know. He
Don't
don't
do
know.
that to him.
He don't
Don't do
know.
that to him.
He don't know the phones on top of the
Yeah,
lampstand.
he don't know
You talking about the one you had to
slide
go all
down.
around the
He
block?
don't know the
The one you had to
slide
go all
down
around the block
pole
with?
at the England Pratt Library. He don't know that.
Hey, look. He's so young. He say the dial was on the phone. No, it only went to one line. Remember, there wasn't no dial on that joint. Just pick it up and say what you got to say. He too young. He came when they put dials on him. He came when they put dials on him. I'm sorry. He too young, man.
Smoothie King, right back at you with another one. Jalil, thanks for the color in the chat. Early breakdown of Tank versus Roach, Jalil versus Roman. We got another one. Smoothie King,
No.
right back.
Let him answer this, and then we're gonna run to the next one.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I think this Tank and Roach fight has a lot of potential to be a very good fight. They have history. And if you've been in the boxing game a long time, if you've been a fan of boxing, watching boxing a long time, it's not an easy thing to beat somebody who has history with you. Whether it's from the amateurs, whether it's from sparring as they both were coming up at the same time, it's kind of hard to just dominate them because they feel a more calmer presence because they have past with you. So I really do think this has the potential to be a very, very good fight. Lamont Roach is a very quality fighter. One of the sad things you get to hear is when they say Tank just pick somebody. We don't even know who he is. And I've said it many a time. If you hold one of the 4 major world titles in any division, you are one of the 4 best fighters in the world in any division. It ain't before of them. So if you hold one of those four, Lamont Roach, he beat a very, very sound fighter. He beat a very sound fighter for that world title. That same gentleman fought Javante Davis. Javante Davis beat him. So I want to make sure that we put the proper respect on these fighters. We put the proper respect on these fighters' name and what they've done. The two fighters can call each other whatever, bums, he ain't this, he ain't that. But us as coaches, onlookers, fans, and coaches of up and coming fighters, we have to respect them for where they are. And where they are is at the top of the game. Like I said, Garcia, both of them fought him, Hector, and Hector put up a very good fight with them both. And the one thing we can say is both of them beat him. And come December 14th, when they lock horns, I think that they're going to lock horns in such a way that it's going to have potential for a great fight. When you look at who coaches both of them, Lamont Roach Sr. coaches his son. He's been with his son his whole life. He's taught him the nuances of the game. We can't forget about Boogaloo, who was with Lamont as well. And then we go over to Calvin and Kenny. They've been like the fathers for Javante, not just in the ring, but outside of the ring. They put a lot into developing him into who he is. And if you could see the amateurs, then the early pros, and then now you saw the maturation of Gervonta Tank Davis. And I say that in a complete full circle of who he has become. I remember Tank as an amateur, very good amateur, had a lot of he had a lot of fire in him. And some of that fire was not good fire. It was attitude. I jump off the handle. I think as you watch him, as he's become a pro, become a champion, become a father, we've seen the level of maturation go to a next level with him. So when you look at both of these men, don't think that these were the amateurs that fought. Don't think these were the early years of their pro career. These are mature fighters. These are high IQ fighters. These are fathers. So if they fought 6-7 years ago, they might have gave you the half performance from both of them. But now these men are fathers who have children and families to take care of, who have teams to take care of. This is not for fun anymore. This is a profession. This is a job. And I think they will come into this fight both as professionals, both well prepared, and both will give a showing that I think a lot of people will be surprised about. Javante wins the fight. He moves on to the next thing in his career. If Lamont Roach wins the fight, he goes to superstardom. If they both have a great fight and Javante wins, Roach goes superstardom. Roach goes back to being the champion at his weight class, and he also becomes one of the most sought after guys to fight by the big teams, because they're going to need to say where they stand in the Davis sweepstakes. I think Lamont Roach can beat a lot of those guys who currently say they want to fight Tank Davis. So a lot of them are praying for Lamont Roach to win the fight. They're praying for it. And the ones that do see him, if he does lose, you got to get in line and beat him, because now Tank Davis say, man, beat somebody. Don't beat just anybody. Fight Lamont Roach. So this fight holds a lot of ground in the 130, 135, and possibly 40 division for a lot of fighters, not just the two taking place in the middle of this ring. So I think this is going to be a very, very, very good, high quality fight. Tank is a tactician, and he can decipher you and he decodes you while the fight's going on. And then that 1 minute in the corner, as a team, that whole team depicts what we do next. I think Lamont Roach is underrated for what he does as a boxer. I think he's underrated for his heart and IQ. And if we get the best of Lamont Roach and we get the best of Gervonta Davis, this promises whoever wins to be a great fight. That don't be shocked if we get a second one.
Now the second part of this was Jalil versus Roman.
With Jalil, we're gonna still prepare as we always do. We're gonna be as on point as possible as we always can be. Like I said, I think Jalil is the best prospect of his generation, and we are gonna do what we do to continue that. We have a very, very capable opponent in front of us. We're going to Puerto Rico to defend Jalil's WBA Continental title against somebody who wants it. I think this is another big step up for Jalil. This young man has only lost one fight. I think he has 16, 17 wins. Jalil, once again, he loves to prove himself. For those who know him from the amateurs, Jalil loves going to fight in your backyard. He loves when everybody hate him. So I told him he'll be well in love because the entire crowd will hate him. So this is what he likes. He loves these situations. He likes being under the gun. He likes being under the gun. So I really think that this has the potential to be a great fight for Jalil. It'll be another chance for him to get more experience in 10-round fights, and it'll give him the ability to cement himself as one of the best prospects. Like I said, I had somebody call me and ask me, why do I still call Jalil a prospect? Because he's still a prospect, in my opinion, at his division. And they say he can't be a prospect no more because he's one of the top 20 fighters by one of the major governing bodies. He's a contender. And they brought out to me that any champion who has an open defense can pick anybody in the top 20. So Jalil's eligible to fight anybody who's a champion. So, for me, I think we're still growing. For the fans who support us, I definitely appreciate it. I appreciate the Rize podcast and other podcasts who actually support us. Because without you all, I'll be honest, in this new wave of boxing, you all create the commotion of we want to hear more about a fighter. Commercials on TV, being promoted by websites or being promoted by promoters only happens when the people at the level of getting to the people, you all touch people. You touch people. People comment. I look at how they comment and subscribe. So without you all, hardcore boxing, BVO, without you guys, there is future potential stars. Or ask the questions that people want to hear. You don't give me the pre-recordeds that we want to prepare you. You ask the questions, and that's your job. So I appreciate all of that. But I do think that fight has the potential to be a very good fight. We're going to Puerto Rico. I think after we knock him off, I still would love to fight Brian Norman if they don't have anything big. I still would love that fight. But if not, we're going to keep on pushing on. We're going to keep on pushing on. And in due time, Jalil will be a world champion.
I'm happy and mad about that fight. I'm happy Jalil returned to the ring. I'm mad because I want to go to Puerto Rico. I really want to go to that fight.
Man, talk to your wife.
I got too much in that time frame. My daughter turned 16. You know what I mean? I got Christmas. I got Tank fight and Jalil fight. I want to try to do everything, but I gotta see. Well,
look, man. Well, look, one of y'all got to be the on-site reporter, so maybe you can't come here. We know Squeeze. You might have to send him if he's willing to get on his camera with a teleprompter and make sure he do his part, and then you go to Tank fight. But I do understand that, brother. The big gun be December 14th. He doing this thing again. So if I can get one of y'all to come to Puerto Rico and the other one go to Houston, that's cool. But if not, I know y'all always gonna support. That's what family do, champ. We one family in this thing.
I like to see Jalil. I like to see Mr. Belt ass. That's what I like to see.
Hey man, like I always tell you, I can't say what the end of Jalil's career is going to be. I can't say if he'll finish undefeated or not, but I will tell you he will always give you 100% effort and 100% in his performance. That's the one thing I do. And that for me in life, I only control what I can control. Everything else, I let it be.
But it's like even when you sit there and talk boxing with Jalil, I'm sitting there talking to little Mr. Bernard. You know what I mean? Like his IQ and his knowledge of the game and life in general. You know what I mean? Because even when you talk to Jalil, he dropping jewels while he talking to you, telling you about life experience through boxing. And a lot of times when he's talking to, he's educating me on what I don't understand or what I might not know. And if I give him a question, he gives me a very credible answer. And then when you get in the ring,
Brother, am I seeing this correct? I'm looking on the screen. Hunter on the Hunt sending shout out from Egypt, coach.
That's my guy. That's my guy. Hunter on the Hunt. Yeah.
In Egypt.
Yeah. We all around.
Man, hey Slim, y'all got people in Egypt. I had to stop there because in Egypt. Hey, come on, man. These young fighters do not support these podcasts like the Rize. They will be shorting themselves on people who support or who could support them that don't get to know about them. You got somebody from Egypt. Hey, bro, y'all, I keep trying to tell you, y'all doing something, man. Y'all doing something. Doing something, bro. If y'all young fighters don't understand it, they need to be emailing y'all what fights they got coming up and ask y'all to check it out and see if y'all bring them on to talk about their fight. They better be proactive instead of reactive.
I don't think these boxers now really understand how the game has changed from the traditional promoter to YouTube being a promotion company itself when it comes to the boxing podcast, because we're the promoters, because all the fans are watching to see who knows what, who can give the fastest update, who can drop the most about whatever, and who can stir up the most chaos. So a lot of times we're the promoters. We might not get paid like the promoters. We're the promoters.
Hey, I'm gonna give a secret out that a lot of people might not know. Every major promoter, I don't care who they are, major globally, has some association with some podcast. And because of that, they will let a podcast know about a potential fight they'd like to put together and let the podcaster talk about it and see if it draws any traction. If it doesn't draw traction, why would I put a fight together that I'm going to lose money on? If it draws traction, then they can watch the numbers from the podcast conversation and say that fight makes sense to put together. So these young boxers and their teams need to understand we not in 1984 no more, when we didn't have social media, when we didn't have podcasts. We're in a new era. So they better wake up and stop running their businesses like the old corner store where you knew Miss Gerald that owned the corner store, and start understanding we are in the 7-Eleven and Wawa age. You better come and join the party or you will have your guys left behind.
Smoothie King.
Right back at you with another one. Kirk Douglas 15. Thanks for the color in the chat.
Smoothie King.
Right back at you with another one. Melody Queen 27. Thanks for the color in the chat. Let's get the likes up, please, and thank you.
Smoothie King.
Right back at you with another one. Bad Girls Link. Miss Olivia Pope. I might just have to be y'all representative and y'all give me the questions. LOL.
Oh, Nikki going to Puerto Rico. Olivia Pope going to Puerto Rico, Mr. Bernard.
Hey man, let me say something. Like I said on Hardcore Boxing, anybody that follows the Rize, if you send me a message for any of the merch that we have, we got the shirts from the last one, which we sold. Most of them are gone. We still have some left. I will make sure that you get those for $30. Remember when we was pushing them, they was going for 50. Shout out to everybody. We sold a couple of hundred shirts, so I want to say shout out to them. But anybody who follows these podcasts that support us, BVO, Rize, Hardcore Boxing, hit me on IG, say I need one of them shirts, and I follow them. Especially if you shoot me a screenshot to show that you have donated something to them or you're a subscriber, I will make sure that we get that for you at $30. Trust and believe.
Bring him in, Squeeze, because he been back there waiting patiently. I don't like him. I want 3 rounds with him, Mr. Bernard, personally.
All right, y'all. One
Get
of my favorite boxing podcasts. And when I say he knows greatness when he invited the Smoothie King up. What was a pleasure and an honor to be on this young man podcast. Because he can ready to turn it off. Because he do know his boxing. One of my favorite podcasters in the building, and I can't wait for him to see you the matchup because I already know who I'm putting my money on. The one, the only BVO Boxing TV.
I want to be the underdog. You was preaching, Mr. Bernard. I couldn't bring him right in. You was preaching, so I had to take my time.
Hey, man, break us off for him. Break me off of this.
BVO, turn your mic on.
Hey, what's going on? Y'all doing, man?
What's up, Chad?
Hey, you know, you talking I could be up here with my favorite Smoothie King, man. You know we doing it big. We done made it. We up here with Smoothie King.
That's glazing at his finest. That's glazing at his finest.
Right.
That's glazing at his finest.
Hey, but no, you know we allowed to have no favorites, man.
Mr. Bernard to you.
Be my favorite.
Mr. Bernard to you. Put some respect on that man's name.
Hey, you know the sad thing, Brother Bernard, man, when I drop him,
be careful, because you get kicked out of here. You can't come in my house and talk how you want.
You drop around me, I'm going in his pockets.
I'm going.
He don't need that. He don't need that.
Look. I might snatch my arm off. How light them pockets gonna be?
I already say you go in my pockets. You just practicing. You get ready for the next guy you gonna get.
Hey, when you done anything happened in a fight, so I left everything at home.
Well, you know, hey, Brother Bernard, you know, she ain't gonna run from me. He's not gonna fight. He gonna run. He ain't gonna put his meat beat it up. He's gonna.
Okay. Now listen, BVO. Before I put you in, right? I made a promise to myself that I wouldn't bring it up. I promised myself. I said I wouldn't bring it up. But what you just did was you made me break that promise.
Okay. Bring it up.
So, hey, Mr. Bernard, I'm gonna swing it over to you. I'm ready. I'm gonna mute everybody else because I don't want to be interrupted. Mr. Bernard. Let's just say, right? Me and you, we out at the bar, right? I'm 6'9", 415 pounds, wear size 19 shoe, former NFL player, cut up, big stocky dude. And man, you get into an altercation and you look around and I ran on you. Wouldn't you feel some type of no, let me put the kick in. I'm your cousin. And I ran on you. How would you feel about that, Mr. Bernard?
I'm gonna tell the 6'9" nigga just hold still for a minute. I'll be right back. But I got to deal with this one. I'm gonna catch him before he get to his car.
Mr. Bernard, BVO and his cousin at the bar, right? His cousin out there fighting. BVO a big dude. What is he doing running, leaving his cousin in the middle of war? Talking about it was too many people. We was outnumbered. He ran on his cousin. What type of cousin is that, Mr. Bernard?
He said he run a podcast, man. He gotta report the news.
No, he run a podcast. He ain't running on his cousin.
He said that was going to be newsworthy. He had to report the news. He run a podcast.
Hey, no, I'm gonna have to hear that forever, man. I'm gonna have to hear that forever.
You never told me that. Like, because the way I was grow up, either y'all fight together, y'all get your ass whooped together, but you at no point in time do you leave.
He said a good run is better than a bad stand any day.
Hey,
I gotta take the way I was brought up. We gotta take the bad stand.
We got to get it whooped out together.
You know what I mean? Let somebody else tell the story. BVO, he want to run and go back to tell the story. He on the park. Yeah, I ran on my cousin. I'm like, huh?
They might didn't live next door to each other, man.
I don't care where you live. Grandma ain't going for that once we go back home.
Their mamas might not have been tight.
Hey,
she said, I know what type of dude your cousin is. If he starts something, he got to wear it.
Hey, no, it's a true story. It's a true story. I had my little jewels on. I wanted to leave with him, so I got out of there. I ain't proud of it, I was 20. She ain't gonna tell you I was a young guy at the time.
No,
I got out of there,
my
man.
grandma was
I was
taught us
wrong.
this when we was kids. My grandma, no, y'all go together, y'all come back together. One bet not come back, and the other one don't. No, y'all leave together, y'all come back together under any circumstances.
He said it was on Sunday. He didn't want to mess up his good clothes.
You wrong. You wrong. You see how DC boys do? Y'all DC and Baltimore boys come together. You say I come against the black man? That's crazy, man. That's cold-blooded, man.
Oh man, hey, hold up. I ain't gonna let him say that one. When every time I be on his podcast, somebody get on him about the Spanish fighters. They go crazy, man. Hey, I die laughing when they hey, I know it's coming. It's just you gotta wait for it to come. But man, I ain't never seen that like boy. They go at it on that joint about them fighters. Especially Teo.
That's his man.
Oh boy. What? Man, look. I heard him one day say Tio would have been on the podcast, but he had to save some children out of burning building in a cabin tree. He's a superhero. He's a superhero.
You wrong, man. You wrong. You wrong.
He's a superhero.
You're wrong. And like I said before, man, you know, Jalil's my guy. Only time he's not my guy is if he fighting Tio. That's it. It's only one person.
Man, tell him show you that tattoo on his right forearm. Tell female superhero.
Come on, show the people the tat.
I don't got no tattoo. He's wrong. But you know what? You my brother, man. It can't never be brother versus brother. I'm not gonna let Senior come between us, man. You my brother, man. I ain't gonna let Senior do that. Don't let him do that.
Hey man, let me tell you something about these dudes, man. They keep everything 100. I mean, whether we agree or disagree, because me and Squeeze done disagreed on a mountain of stuff. That's still my man. He'll disagree with me on the podcast, and they call me 20 minutes later and say, you still ain't bought my shirt up yet.
I was just ready to tell you I'm waiting on my extra large.
Hey, that's when you know that you are friends. When you could disagree with me on the podcast, but then call me and say, you still ain't bought my stuff up here. If we can't be friends like that, I don't want to be friends with you.
While I got both of y'all up here, Mr. Bernard, and unfortunately we got BVO in the building. But let me ask you this question: can Haney versus Garcia 2 be a mega fight?
Yeah. I hate to be that one that totally disagrees. I know I'm gonna get the disagreement, but yes, I think it can. And the reason why it couldn't have been a mega fight in the 70s or the early 80s. Once we saw what we saw, it's time to move on. But because we live in a social media driven world and all of the back and forth, what we actually saw, the Osterrein situation, all of that actually makes that fight a bigger draw. And if you think about it, without a backstory, this fight is actually bigger than the first one. Because the only backstory we had for the first one was them showing a picture of them looking like they was 13 and they fought each other in the amateurs. And as we well know, what you did in the amateurs with a guy does not carry over to what happens in the pro ranks. Mm-hmm. The amateurs are built for you to learn how to score points and throw a lot of punches. The pros are built for you to hurt people. If you take a 10-ounce amateur glove, put it next to a 10-ounce pro glove, they seem like two different gloves, even though they weigh the same. One is built to teach, the other one's built to destroy.
Now, what Brother Bernard said it's very true, but I'll say this. And I'm looking at the camera when I say this. When you talk about my race, I ain't got no play for you, baby boy. I don't want to see Ryan ever again. Anytime you say the stuff you said about my race, I don't care what nobody got to say. I could be wrong. Y'all could hate me for it. I don't think you should get $1 in boxing. At the end of the day, we not nobody's nigga. I'm going to just tell you that right now. And if you think you can talk about us like that and give us our dollar, as my auntie said, God rest her soul, dollars bring dignity. I will never give a racist my money. I'll never do it. If I know you're a racist, I'm going to keep my money in my pocket. Hey, my one vote don't mean nothing, but as Malcolm X said, sometimes you vote. For me, I ain't got no holler, no play. I don't ever want to see Ryan Garcia again. The stuff he said about our race is unforgivable, man.
BVO, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
I think I seen you in a picture with a pair of Timberlands on. Am I correct?
No, you ain't seen me the picture with Timberlands on.
For real? Do you wear Timberlands?
No, I don't wear no Timberlands, man.
For real?
Seriously, I don't.
Cut it out.
Huh?
You know, y'all before my time, we wear Nike boots. I don't wear no Timberlands.
I could have swore I seen you in a pair of Timberlands. I already say I'm sure like you supported the races. You just ain't even know it. And for me, for me in life where I am, I'd rather deal with a racist because I know where he stands than to deal with somebody who's a racist behind my back. See, when you know where the person stands, I know how to move with you and around you. But if you got a mask on, I can't deal with you. But when it comes to boxing, I'm just talking about two fighters. I'm not talking about what they got going on. I'm talking about the fight itself. It was a lot of shit that happened in that fight. Now, a lot of people have said various different things. Look about what Eddie Hearn said. Eddie Hearn's father said, you still watch boxing?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying, hey, BVO is not perfect. At the end of the day, my thing is this. And for those who say you still support T.O., that was a bad joke. That's different. But when someone goes,
you go and say you can't.
Hold on. Let
the
black man finish. Let the black man finish. You my brother, senior. I love you. Hold on. Let me
walk off. I'm gonna take a walk for myself so I can get myself together.
But let me say this. And Brother Bernard could tell you that same thing. But I'll tell you this, man. When you go out of your way to say disparaging things about blacks every chance you get, I mean, my God, every time he get a camera in his face, it's F black people, F ends, I want to kill all ends, I hate all.
T.O. called Tank and Bud Crawford monkeys.
He said if they wanted the monkeys from get the bananas, I'm a lion, I eat both of those guys.
It's okay because he worded it like that, but he still made the same reference, so that's okay though.
I never heard him say I hate you guys. I think all blacks should die.
But he's still in that mindset. Come on, BVO. Don't try to sugarcoat it because it's your guy. Did you hear what Mr. Bernard said before when you came on? These two guys keep it real. So you can't come on here trying to, sugarcoat shit over here and then, bring somebody down over here. They both do the same thing. T.O. does it in his form and Ryan does it in his form. And T.O. is your favorite fucking boxer. And he's talking about your guy, your people, your race the same way as Ryan do. He just using different words. Come on, BVO. Don't make me educate you up here because I teach you.
Don't make me go into this. Let me just go into this.
Matter of fact, this is what I'm going to do. Squeeze, can you bring my guy in so he can change the mood right here? Because I talked to my grandmother this morning. And she'll cuss you out, BVO, for that shit you talk.
Hold on, you ain't even let me finish, man.
I ain't got time to.
We'll get to it.
Aunt McQueen is in the building. What's going on, Aunt?
Chilling, man. Chilling.
Aunt, can Haney versus Garcia 2-bit mega fight? Because I ruined the day. I brought BVO up here, and he just, I don't know. He worked my nerves.
Yeah, I think it can. I think it really can. For sure. I mean, we got the intrigue from the first fight. I thought that Brother Bernard, he made a fantastic point about the first fight, building intrigue for this fight, because now we want to see how much of a factor did the Osterine play in the fight. Because Devin Haney is saying, well, the guy was on drugs, he was heavy, yada, yada, yada. So if they come in now and it's all fair and square, now we're going to see what it looks like. Another fight that was marred by some I don't know what you want to call it, but infractions, if you will, like Cotto and Margarito. First time he had the plastic in his gloves, he busted him up. They ran it back. Cotto got his get back in emphatic fashion. So I think that just that alone.
You saying that I can't let you sit there and say that gingerly. You ain't giving nothing with that. I can't. No, Cotto got mauled. If you go back, look at his face, that was assault with a deadly weapon. What did Cotto do? I want his ass back. Clean. I want him back clean. But go ahead, Aunt McQueen. I just wanted to give that reference because that was attempted murder. in the first degree. If you see Cotto's face afterwards, I thought he was done with boxing. Go ahead, champ. Just had to
No,
let
for
that.
sure. And I'm saying we seen the same thing happen with what's the guy's name in the 80, Billy Collins. But that was super unfortunate. He passed away. But that's what I'm saying. To Brother Bernard's point, I think that the intrigue is even higher now because before it was just all right, these guys they face each other 6 times in the amateurs, they split 3-3. Who's gonna win as a professional? But now we want to see even playing field, both guys clean. Who's gonna prevail? And Devin Haney, what I've seen in his past couple interviews, he's been adamant that the deciding factor in that fight was the Osterine, that the guy was on drugs that had nothing to do with him having certain lapses or having certain deficiencies that Ryan was able to take advantage of. So we're gonna see what's what. Now y'all both clean, run it back.
I think if they run it back, I think if they run it back and Devin beats Ryan, then I can say that Devin is an undefeated fighter. But if he don't beat Ryan, I have to call that first fight a no contest. I can't remove what I saw. I can't remove what I saw. I saw him get beat. And it wasn't to me that he got beat because of Osterine. He got beat because he couldn't get out the way of a left hook. That wasn't Osterine. That was he couldn't get out the way of it. It was he going away from boxing. He went away from his game plan of boxing and tried to fight. You know, I applaud him for his heart, but I give him an F for his mental concept because if you got something that can work for you, why would you go away from it? We saw Sugar Ray Leonard fight Roberto Duran in the rematch, and Duran was like, "Come meet me in the middle of the ring." Ray was like, I'm gonna keep beating you from the outside. It's about getting the win, not anything else. So yeah, if he beats him again, I say he should be 1 loss, 1 no contest. But if he comes out and Devin beats him, especially if he beat him in that Ray Leonard fashion of Duran, then I will say to him, you are undefeated and leave it as is.
I'm with that 1000%. Because I've got similar sentiments about that fight. And I'll say this too, though. Here's the other part of it. You know, I rewatched that fight recently. It wasn't like Dev just stepped to him and tried to press him and tried to fight with him. He got caught shooting his jab. He just got timed. And then he was just, I don't think he ever recovered. I felt like he just got caught cold and didn't recover completely after getting caught that first time. Because it seemed like damn near every time Ryan touched him, he was buckling. Like almost every time he touched him, he was buckling.
So
every punch was filled.
Every punch was filled with Osterine. The moving of his head out of the way, Osterine. The ability of his right foot and left foot to use every corner of the boxing ring was Osterine. The ability to hold his hand up was Osterine. Stop. Cut it out. People got to understand what the steroids help you to do. It helps you and heighten your ability to be able to last longer, feel more confident because of the oxygen that's flowing through your body. But it's not the mythical thing is Popeye eating some spinach and the muscle go down, bing, bing, and then he whips Pluto ass.
Please, can I ask you this question? Does Osterine improve your does it improve your decision making in the ring?
Hell no. Hell IQ. Now, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you do that in there. Now, you come back to the corner. You my fighter. I'm telling you, hey man, don't trade with this dude. It seemed like you. How's his power as a corner man, as a coach? Is he hurting you? Yeah, coach. Everything he hit me with, I'm just okay. We got box now. Let's take him to school. Let's take him in deep water. I want you to use every goddamn four corner of this thing, and we're gonna outclass him because we can't walk forward through him. You ain't bringing it tonight. We gotta draw a different game plan to come out with the W.
Yeah, I think
the unsung
it
hero
showed
that
me-
night was the right hand. Quiet as kept. If you seen Devin's face at the end of the fight, the whole left side of his jaw was protruding. I felt like they didn't really have a game plan for the right hand either.
I don't know. I'll tell you this. I think when Devin is allowed to box, I said allowed. When he's allowed to box, his confidence is on a million. But if you look at a couple of fights we can note of, when Devin get hit with something, his confidence get cracked and shattered. And I think Ryan was just young enough, big enough, and strong enough to where when he cracked his confidence, everything else went with it. We saw Ryan hit him early in the fight and buckle him. After that, we saw Devin a lot of times try to throw a jab and pull away at the same time. Remember the last knockdown when he threw that? He was trying to pull away and jab at the same time. His confidence gets shook if you go back and watch the fight when he fought Lomachenko. I think Lomachenko won that fight, in my opinion. But when he was getting hit with some of that stuff from a smaller guy, he started to question himself in the corner. Told his father, I can't hit him. I can't hit him. Bill didn't have no answer for that. Keep trying, son. Keep trying. I mean, I think Ryan is I think Devin is an excellent boxer. An excellent boxer. He lacks the power not to hurt anybody else, but to feel confident within himself that he can use enough power to be able to continue to box. I just think that's the backbone.
Let me throw this in. I think personally, Devin Haney is a hell of a sparring champion. If you go back and the tapes prove, you go back and watch Devin spawn. Devin is a hell of a spawn guy. When it comes to spawn, he blows it out of the water. My thing with him, he can't transcend his knowledge from spawn to fight night. When he hit the stage, it ain't as confidently coming off like he do in spawn. Because you know why? It's levels to this. And he's not believing in himself. And actually, when the lights are on, go back. If you think I'm capping, look at all of Devin spawn. I'm looking at Devin spawn and I'm like, God damn, that's what made me fall in love with him. I say, now I'm ready for you to take that same energy to the ring. So for y'all homework, go back, look at Devin spawn and look at fights. When he fought Jojo Diaz, when he fought Linares, when he fought Lomachenko. See if you see the same similarities of confidence that he did then in the ring. You breaking up.
Did you see Devin spawn? When you saw him, I said, when you saw Devin do these amazing things, who did you see him spawn?
Who did I see him sparring?
Yeah. When you see Devin sparring, doing amazing, great stuff, who is he sparring against?
Whoever the sparring partners they have in front of.
Mm-hmm. Amateurs.
Okay, I ain't know who they was. I'm just talking about the level of confidence I'm speaking on. I'm not talking about the names.
No. I'm not speaking of their names. Listen to what I'm saying. When I'll use my son. I'll use my son example. If you were a highly talented professional and you got my son at 10 years old in front of you, I'm saying my son, you're a lot more comfortable.
You're breaking up.
Him.
Your phone breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You're a lot more comfortable sparring a 13-year-old if you're if you're a world champion or on a world championship level, as opposed to being in this sparring with another world championship level sparring partner. I told you know for years, it ain't nothing personal, it ain't nothing that we've said. No, how many years we been talking to Bill, even your podcast? We come out there and give Devin some work before Jalil turned pro. Can you hear me? I don't know what's going on. My bad. I said, how many years did? Can you hear me?
You keep chopping up, Mr.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Now you froze completely.
Now I feel you coming from those squeeze because I've seen Devin sparring some guys. He looked really good. Even some of the stories you hear about him.
Stevenson.
Yeah, you hear some stories about him sparring guys for sure.
You got. Excuse me. I just want to jump in. You got to understand the difference. In Spawn, he could take those chances in Spawn. In Spawn, you get to work on stuff and try stuff. In a fight, you can't do that.
Yeah, it's the quality of person you're in there with. The quality of person that you're in there with makes you look
Somebody say turn your camera off and stop chopping, Mr. Bernard. You keep chopping real bad.
Is that better? Is it better? Camera better.
It's still chopping. Let me get this out the way. Smoothie King, right back at you. What another one? Naeem the Dream Pro Day 2027. Thanks for the color in the chat. Peace to the chat and coaches. It's the only dream that matters. We real Muslims, not Bill Muslims. Staten Island, NYC is here. Appreciate you. But Ant, do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I feel you.
I'm saying they missing the point. I'm saying that the level of confidence, we always hear Coach Calvin say the fight is won in practice, in the gym. The fight is won in the gym. And if I see you giving Shakur Stevenson 6, 8, 12 rounds, a highly decorated amateur and a hell of a boxer, and you looking sharp with him, and then Senior made a point when he's saying, what I'm saying, when he get under the lights, he's not being as confident as he was sharpening his skills. It's just like
not translating.
I still stand up. Sometimes I go over, rehearse my lines, and people all day long, yo, you funny, yo, you so funny. I take that routine on stage and lock up. The same routine I use off the stage that made people laugh, I took it on stage and I didn't execute it. My timing was off. I was stuttering over my words. You get what I'm saying?
That performance anxiety is real sometimes, Squeeze. It's real.
Ooh, what you say, son? What? Tell him again.
Performance anxiety, man. Performance anxiety. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Listen.
See, this is what separates GTD from everybody. Because he keeps it a buck. He say, yeah, I'll be nervous on every fight. He said, because it's natural. He said, because I don't know if that person going to be able to do something to me, or I don't know what I'm going to be able to do to them. But when I first get hit, then I start coming into my own. And I say, this guy across from me, he's trying to take me out of here. Now I got to wake up and then heighten my senses and go to work. Performance anxiety. That's the word for the day.
You can see when he start feeling more comfortable too in them fights, when he start talking to people outside the ring and interacting, just looking loose when you see him in the corner and everything. So yeah, I think it's a real thing. Yo, there definitely spots like I was watching Devin's fight with Linares, and there were a couple of things that he did where I was like, man, why he don't do that more often? Like, he had a couple moments where he was fighting on the inside, landed some nice little uppercuts, but then there are other times where you see him and he's just holding on and he's not looking to work. You seem a little bit inconsistent, and I think that part of it is what you said, the confidence. I don't know, and I'm also curious if some of it is what Mr. Bernard said, like him not feeling like the power is going to translate and is going to carry him through. Maybe he's putting something on that. I'm not sure if you ever seen him in the locker room with Linares. There was a clip after the fight, and he kept asking him, "How did you feel about my power? How did you feel about my power?" He needed reassurance about it. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a lack of 100% confidence in the work that he's doing in the gym, or if it's a lack of confidence in his own power. But he definitely seemed to be just a tad bit insecure about that when he's asking other guys, "Yo, how do you feel about my power? What did you think?"
Yeah. You back, Mr. Bernard?
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, okay. Could you hear everything what me and Ant was saying when I
Yeah.
said when I did my comedy, I could be funny around you guys all day in the locker room. You say you gonna knock it out the box squeeze, hit me on the shoulders, go get him, Tiger. And I get on stage and the lights hit. I start sweating. Now it's for keeps. Cause there's dollars on the line. It's taking care of my family is on the line. That's a little bit more weighing on my shoulders because I'm not as loose. My best shows was when I went out on stage. My sister, may she rest in peace, she told me, she say, Tyrone, just be yourself. You're better when you be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And when she told me that, she was my coach. Went out there and I was being myself. I got more of an applause. I felt more comfortable of bringing out the material that I had to bring out. Anxiety. What's the word?
Performance anxiety.
Take it away, Mr. Bernard.
No, I agree with you. I'll say it is that I think Devin, from what I've seen, is a hard worker. I can't put that on his work ethic. I think he works very hard. What I do say is he I won't even say lacks confidence. What I will say, he's going through an identity crisis, like you just said. I think if you look at Devin throughout his pro career, he's always tried to be what was the most popular thing, as opposed to just being Devin. I mean, and trying to be a Tank clone, doesn't work. I want to get the tattoos like Tank. I want to dress like Tank. I said Tank shouldn't carry pocketbooks, but if it became popular, I want to carry a pocketbook now. When you just be yourself, you can never go wrong because nobody knows you better than you know yourself. But when you try to mimic or emulate somebody, you never become great at it because we already have somebody who's great at being themselves. I think if Devin just understood who am I, and that's not something somebody could tell you, that's Devin looking in the mirror. Turn the shower on. They might think you're in the shower for 2 hours, but have that conversation with yourself. Who am I? And if who I am is not the popular person, that's fine. That's not a problem. But I am secure and comfortable within myself. I go back to the Ray Leonard fight. The first fight that he fought with Duran, I think Ray went in there to be someone else. But in the second fight, Ray was just Ray. And it came over and across totally different. I do think knowing who you are, and that's in boxing, it's in life, it's in whatever you do. You can be comfortable not getting the job at the job interview, not making the team, not being the favorite person of somebody you like, if you put yourself as the person getting interviewed. But if you go in there being someone you're not, in the interview, in the friendship, in the relationship, whatever it is, eventually, like my grandfather used to say, the person who they're gonna get for the long haul will always show up sometime after the interview. So if you prepare to be yourself, you can live with the outcome. But when you don't prepare to be yourself, you always question the outcome. That's why I think it'll be a better fight the second go around between Ryan and Devin. Because at this point, Devin, you have nothing to lose being yourself. You lost everything being someone else. Be yourself. Go back to the day when you wore regular boxing shoes. You put on regular boxing stuff. It wasn't to please anybody but yourself. That's the outcome. That's the outcome. How many champions do we know who nobody liked or who had very few fans, but they had a great championship career as opposed to somebody else in their generation? Nobody's going to say that Marvin Hagler had a better overall career than Sugar Ray Leonard, except for Marvin Hagler, because he was being Marvin Hagler.
All right, Senior, I'm great. Get on up out of here.
No. You ain't ready to run out of here and close the show like that. That ain't how we close the show. See, now you done took offering already. Now you ready to run off like the pastor. You ready to get back to the back room and count the money up. See what I'm saying? Now you ready to get to the back room, count the money up, and jump in that Cadillac. Slow down there, grasshopper.
He ain't lick his thumb, did he?
Man, he did it, man. All right, we got what we need here. See y'all next week.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Well, Mr. Bernard, he the congregation. He can stay in the pulpit.
Get out that parking lot safe, y'all. Don't hit nobody's stuff. And do not mess up our fence or we will find you on tape.
Mr. Bernard Never Do Show is always a pleasure and a blessing when you come through. Shout out to Ed McQueen for coming through. Shout out to BBO, even though he don't know no better. I think he was dropped on his head, or he got what's they call it, CTE. I think he got CTE because the boy is everywhere. He don't know what he talking about. Then he know what he talking about. He's special. Shout out to Squeeze, man, for doing your thing, man. Never Do Show. Sorry I missed a couple of days this week, man. My tooth was hurting. But appreciate everybody.
Some of the happiest days of my life, but go ahead.
I'm back.
Oh, shit.
Close the arguments.
Ed McQueen.
I'll spark it off. Same as always. Small things, all things. What's easy to do is also easy. Salute to my guy, Squeeze, in the middle.
Man, Mr. Bernard, Ed McQueen, the dream team on here, all access. Great show. That's all I got to say. I can't even follow that act up.
Man, before I leave, I want to thank y'all, give you your flowers while we all can enjoy them. I think this was a great show. BVO gave a point, and I love your passion that you came back with, Senior, on what you had to say. But I want to say something to everybody that relates to whole circle, whether it's boxing or life. If you first do not respect yourself, how do you think anybody else will respect you? If we get up in arms because somebody else calls us the N-word or anything like that, or they disrespect our women, or they take us for granted, please remember, when we do it as a lifestyle, then other people find the ability to do it because we gave them the pass.
Damn, don't say nothing else, Mr. Bernard.
Like the drop, but you know what I mean?
Peace.
Some say you forgive, but don't forget it. Now you know how we do. Lock that back door, don't let no one through. I told Nietzsche in these streets ain't no rules. He say, cause all this life we ain't over this. Yeah. And I understand that this shit wasn't easy, but nigga, we did it. Yeah. And all them hoes and all them niggas that wasn't fucking with us, then we them niggas. And now we rich, now